You keep it up and you should be fine. Yo, man, you gotta help me. I can't get a reply on an email. I don't know what to do on a date.
From an expression made by a guard in his local dialect when he saw the design of the new car. Its equivalent in English would be something like, wow. And it's easy to understand why he had this reaction. The wedge-shaped Lamborghini had a completely different design than any other car on the market. It also was the first production car to incorporate scissor doors. Returning to the 3.9-liter V12 engine, the Countach caused a few gasped expressions with its speed and acceleration too. It could reach 187 miles per hour and accelerate from 0 to 60 in just 5 seconds, making it much faster and quicker than the Miura. The Countach wasn't cheap though. It was the first Lamborghini to cost over $50,000. It became the longest-running production car with 1,983 units made over 16 years. Emerging from the shadows in 1976 was the Lamborghini Silhouette. It replaced the Urraco with a Targa roof, basically making it semi-convertible. It had a 3-liter V8 engine, making it faster and quicker than the Urraco, but also more expensive. The Silhouette wasn't a success, though. The plan was to win over the U.S. market, but the Silhouette wasn't a success, though. The plan was to win over the U.S. market, but that never happened. In 3 deaths, though. The plan was to win over the U.S. market, but that never happened. In 3 years, only 55 units were made. With that amount, they wouldn't even win over the North Pole market. The Silhouette wasn't the only bad thing that happened to the company. Lamborghini also had internal problems because of the change in ownership, and to make matters worse, in the 1970s, there was an oil crisis, skyrocketing oil prices. As a consequence, Lamborghini car sales suffered because of their high fuel consumption. In 1978, Lamborghini's situation worsened so much that it entered bankruptcy. 2 years later, the company was purchased for $3 million by Patrick Mimran and his brother. Mimran, who was only 24 at the time, became the CEO and was later credited for being the man who saved Lamborghini. In 1981, under the leadership of Lamborghini's new owners, the Jalpa was produced. It was the last Lamborghini to use a V8 engine for a long time. The Jalpa was named once again after a famous breed of fighting bulls. It replaced the Silhouette, and although the top speed was lower and it had a higher price, the Jalpa was more successful with 420 units produced in 7 years. You probably wouldn't choose Lamborghini as a go-to manufacturer if you're looking to travel across rough terrain. But did you know that Lamborghini has made several off-road trucks over the years?
I am Rich Loxton. I'm a Los Angeles-based artist who creates skull masks and performs in smoke. The biggest benefit of being on Facebook is
the LM002, also known as the Lamborghini truck or the LAMBO, was made in 1986 after 2 prototype off-roaders had been made, including the Cheetah, which was a military vehicle. The LM002 came with special Pirelli tires which could run virtually flat without risk and handle the desert heat. 2 special versions of the truck participated through the tough terrains at the Dakar Rally. The 5.2-liter V12 LAMBO could reach a top speed of 130 miles per hour and accelerate to 60 in 8.5 seconds. 300 units were made, costing $65,000. Fun fact, the first LM002 was delivered to the King of Morocco. Another fun fact, the truck featured in several movies, including Fast and Furious. With the arrival of the 1990s came a Fast and Furious. Another fun fact, the truck featured in several movies, including Fast and Furious. With the arrival of the 1990s came a new era for Lamborghini. The era of supercars that were capable of speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour or 320 kilometers per hour. It started with the Lamborghini Diablo that was powered by a 5.7-liter V12 engine. The Diablo.
Would you like some juice? Only if you have some gin to mix in. Since you don't want us to sit here and do our homework, we shouldn't sit here and do our homework. I mean, that would be disrespectful, right? So, what do you want to do? You guys want to play some blackjack?
you don't know what you're doing, and I'm going to teach you how to play. Look in that drawer and bring me some cards. Okay, now listen. The object of the game is whoever
Diablo could
gets
hit
closest
202
to
miles per
21
hour and go from 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. Over the course of 11 years, 900 units were made. The most expensive Lamborghini before the Diablo was the LMO02 that had a price tag of $65,000. The Diablo was more than 3 times as expensive as it was sold for a whopping $200,000. The Lamborghini Diablo SV followed in 1995 and improved upon the speed of the Diablo, which makes sense since SV stands for super veloce, or super fast in English. It maxed out at 208 miles per hour and went from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. It was also more expensive with a price tag of almost $230,000. Not content with those figures, Lamborghini then made the Diablo GTR as a track-ready model with power improvements, a stripped interior, and a reduction in weight. It pushed 210 miles per hour and had a 0 to 60 time of 3.4 seconds. Only 32 GTRs were made and were sold for over $300,000. The Diablo lineup became super successful. Almost 3,000 units were sold across the world. Fun fact, the name Diablo means devil in Spanish. In 1998, Ferdinand Pieka, the chairman of the Volkswagen Group, went on a buying spree, purchasing Lamborghini, Bentley, and Bugatti. Lamborghini was bought for around $110 million and placed under parent company Audi, which is also owned by Volkswagen. Fun fact, currently the Volkswagen Group owns 12 huge car brands.
Remember how when we first started going out, you used to send me cards with different notes inside?
Yeah, I remember.
How come you don't do that anymore?
Just unbelievable. The Murcielago was introduced as a coupe in 2001 and served as the flagship V12 of Lamborghini's lineup. It was the first model made under the new ownership of German parent company Audi. The Murcielago had a 6.2-liter V12 that performed similarly to the Diablo, but its look made it a favorite of many. It's probably why almost 4,000 of them were made with a starting price of $273,000. Fun fact, the Murcielago Roadster was driven by Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins, which is a very clever nod to the superhero because Murcielago is the Spanish.
Hey, word on the street is there's a hot blackjack game going on over here.
You got money?
Does Seal and Green have neck meat?
The Roadster was driven by Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins, which is a very clever nod to the superhero because Murcielago is the Spanish word for bat. Following the success of the Murcielago, Lamborghini came out with the Gallardo, powered by a 5-liter V10 that could reach a top speed of 192 miles per hour and go from 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. To own one yourself would have cost at least $180,000 when they were first released. In total, over 7,000 original Gallardos were produced. In 2005, the Gallardo Super Leggero was unleashed. It was lighter than the original model due to the use of carbon fiber parts. It maxed out at 196 miles per hour and could go from 0 to 60 in just 3.8 seconds. 618 units were produced, and it cost $50,000 more than the original. The fastest of the Gallardo range, though, was the LP564, which was also used by the Italian authorities to patrol highways. It had a 5.2-liter V10, and with a top speed of 202 miles per hour, you'd have a hard time outrunning the Italian police. It could reach 60 miles per hour in 3. You'd have a hard time outrunning the Italian police. It could reach 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds and was sold for $198,000. Gallardo, with all its variants, became the best-selling Lamborghini model. Throughout its production run, more than 14,000 Gallardos were built. The Reventon is a limited edition masterpiece that was first revealed at the 2007 Frankfurt Motor Show.
The same year as
It turns out to be Catherine
I
You are not coming with me on my date. No, we're gonna have him meet us at Martin's bar. We are? Yes, I'm gonna meet you there. Cause this better be a Jennifer Aniston movie, because we are expecting a Jennifer Aniston movie, and if it's not a Jennifer Aniston movie,
Inspired by the very latest aeronautics. This sleek, swift machine was named after a bull who killed a matador, with the word reventon meaning small explosion or burst in Spanish. It was the first Lambo to utilize a 6-point Maul explosion or burst in Spanish. It was the first Lambo to utilize a 6.5-liter V12 engine that could reach a top speed of 205 miles per hour. It could accelerate to 60 in just 3.3 seconds. In total, only 21 units were made, including one for the Lamborghini Museum. In 2009, a Roadster version was unveiled, and produced another 15 units of the Reventon Roadster. The Reventon became the first Lamborghini to be priced at more than $1 million. And if that wasn't expensive enough, the Roadster version was sold for $2.1 million. Come on, for this amount of money, you can buy yourself a luxury villa. In 2008, Lamborghini unveiled a 4-door sports car, the Estoca. Just imagine someone bringing their kids to school with this beast. It could reach a top speed of 211 miles per hour, making it the fastest Lamborghini so far. Production plans for the Estoca were canceled, so only one unit was built. In 2009, Lamborghini made a canceled, so only one unit Lamborghini so far. Production plans for the Estoca were canceled, so only one unit was built. In 2009, Lamborghini made a special version of the Murcielago, the Murcielago SV. Using a 6.5-liter V12 engine, it broke the 3-second barrier for 0 to 60 miles per hour. It did not only become the quickest Lamborghini so far, but also the fastest with a top speed of 213 miles per hour. Only 186 units were made, and it was launched with a price tag of $450,000. In 2011, one of the most iconic Lamborghinis of all time was born, the Aventador. This beautifully designed car has phenomenal performance due to its new 12-cylinder engine with 700 horsepower.
Better hope this is
When things break, you look all over to find the problem. Is it the code?
So she created this fake name, Amber. Now, at the very same time, the man named Rob, who just happens to be named
It could reach a top speed of 217 miles per hour, making it the fastest Lamborghini at the time. The Aventador could accelerate from 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds and cost $380,000. More than 5,000 units of the original Aventador were built between 2011 and 2017. Fun fact, many editions and special versions of the Aventador were made, including the Aventador J, of which only one was made in 2012. It sold for $2.8 million. A Lamborghini with another very high price tag at launch, but of which more than one was made, was the Sesto.
Walking through that door right now.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Sarah, I want you to know that I have nothing to do with this. Don't hate me, hate him.
Yeah.